How you doing this Thursday?
Today I have the consult for my snipping my vas deferens.
Oh, you're getting that done, huh?
The consult.
You really going through with this?
The consult.
Why are you doing it now?
Because I don't want to have any more kids.
And you don't want to...
Yeah.
And what, your wife doesn't want to take the pill?
She doesn't want to do birth control. I don't want to do the rubbers. So I'm cool with it, you know?
Wait, you're not doing that now, are you?
Yeah.
Is that a personal question? Sorry, I don't have that visualization.
That's
but
what
I really want to know this. My wife has been on birth control since I met her 24 years ago.
That's the plan. I mean, ever since our second was born, we're making the embarrassing trip to the
You know, women can have this done.
Yeah, I know they can, but
you decide. What, you draw the short straw?
I think no.
How do you come to this?
I think it's easier for the man to get it done than it is the woman to get it done. Plus, she had 2 kids, which is probably pretty taking a toll on the body.
Okay, you got.
So
yeah.
I'm about. I mean, I gotta show I'm part of the team.
How do you be a man and argue that?
Yeah.
Like, oh no, now you got to get this done.
Yeah.
At some point, you're a jerk, right?
Yeah.
No, you got to get it done. I guess.
Fine.
Huh?
I'm fine with that.
So, how do you go about finding somebody to do this? I know you go to a doctor,
and this
right?
is the reason why I bring this up, and not because I want to even talk about the process of this, but it's the healthcare.
I think it's interesting.
Healthcare drives me insane because you go to a guy who's your doctor, and the only reason why you're going to him
is to him refer you
is to tell him, I need to have this done. So then he's like, okay, here's the name of a guy that could do this. That's all that took place at that doctor's appointment.
But that's what your insurance company wants you to do.
Right.
Because we have the HMO.
I paid him $25 out of my pocket to basically do what he could have done over the phone. I pay him $25 out of my pocket, and then he turns around and bills my insurance company for whatever gross amount for no work whatsoever.
Does your doctor's office have this portal thing where you can chat with them? And you can request refills on prescription if you have prescriptions?
I'm sure they do. I don't take advantage of it.
So mine does. And I've been thinking about, hey, because normally I'll come in there and I'll give him my copay.
Yeah.
And then I'll go in. He's like, I want you to have some blood work done. Come back, next week. And so then I have to come back and pay another copay. So now I'm paying twice. I'm going to write him and say, hey, I want to get the blood work done. Can you send that in? And then I didn't have to come in.
But the thing is,
they weigh me. They take my blood pressure. He walks in and goes, and then I leave. And I'm like, what was the point of this?
I've tried this. Okay. I've asked them. I said, is there any way I could just email you guys and then you guys say, oh, this is a guy that you go see in order to get the consult for this?
Yeah, I'll do the referral.
And they said, no, your insurance mandates that you come in and you meet with the doctor.
Which I don't understand because you're only paying $25 of that visit. They're paying the rest.
Right.
So it would save them money.
Why wouldn't the insurance not mandate that then? Or is it the doctor's office that is like, well, no, in order for us to do this, they're like the gatekeepers.
Did you talk to your doctor about this? Or is this something you can't really talk to your doctor about?
I do, and he's clueless. He's like, I don't deal with that. That's not my thing. I said, this seems like a lot of trouble because I was actually sitting there with my son because I didn't have a sitter that day. And I'm like, this seems like a lot of trouble to go through just to have you write a piece of paper that I could have came and picked up with my son in my arms, so he's not running around your waiting room. He's not trying to grab your that little knee thing, the knee hammer thing.
The reflexor.
Yeah, the reflexor. He's not trying to, you could have just written this. It could have saved me $25.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Could have saved the insurance company.
You should call the insurance company and ask him.
But I understand you got to get yours. But you didn't. You blocked out 30 minutes of your time to write a letter for me.
Oh, it's all about them. It's all about the doc. Your regular physician getting his.
I would imagine
because he's the one billing you for the office visit.
The way
he's the one getting paid.
That's the way
everybody's paying him.
And then he probably gets a kickback because he sends me to another guy that's going to cut the vast difference.
Yeah, my wife works in the dental field, and whenever they refer patients, I mean, there's no system, but that office they might bring over donuts or whatever basket of cheese and wine or whatever. That's interesting. Okay, so now.
It's a more corrupt system than politics. I'm convinced.
That is true.
I am convinced because it is taken every day.
How many guys did you get? I would hope for the fact that you got charged in office visit, you get more than one name. Like, let me check out a few guys. Let me see who I really want to trust with my junk in their hand.
Your insurance will allow you to go to this guy, and that's it.
Oh, wow. So do you meet that guy?
Yeah, in an alleyway with some rusty scissors, dude.
So you got to go meet that guy. What if you get a bad vibe from that guy? Then what do? You just go through with it?
I go to Tijuana.
Oh my gosh, I'm not ever having that done.
Trump's got it all wrong. He's blocking all those people from coming in. You should block people from going out because of the damn health care.
You know what I want to know? You had your wisdom teeth taken out. We both did. Mm-hmm. I want to know if it was worth well, you won't be able to tell me this till it's done. But what was more uncomfortable? You're having this done or your wisdom teeth? Your wisdom teeth was pretty easy.
I have no idea. I will let you know.
You will let me know.
I will let you know.
And it's funny because it's $25 usually. We don't make a big deal about it. It annoys us.
Yes.
But if it was $50, I guarantee you that I would have a major issue.
They found the line. They have found the line that people aren't going to quite bitch. But then, and believe me, that's what insurance does. Jeff Stolberg's on his way in here. We all know, we've all had some spirited discussions about insurance in the past. Insurance is about getting as much as they possibly can out of you without having you bitch.
Right.
So I asked the question, in your opinion, which is more corrupt, healthcare system or politics? And people are like, this is a troll post. This is what's trolling about that? I believe they're both corrupt. I want to know which one's more corrupt.
Both. I don't know. That's a tough one. If you think about it, a lot of times they're intertwined.
Yes.
They have lobbyists that go to Washington and
that's what James writes. And he says, I think separated, it would be politics. But since the government has its hands in the healthcare system, it's just as bad because they have almost the politicians, they're the cancer. And so they got their hands into the healthcare system. And then all of a sudden, the inefficiency that government has become the government's hallmark is now also the inefficiency that has become the healthcare system's hallmark.
And this healthcare system, the politicians have tried to fix it for decades. I mean, Barack Obama had his Obamacare thing, and we all thought that was going to be great because everybody would be able to have access to healthcare, except for if you didn't go out and get yourself healthcare, they actually fined you for that in your taxes. And so you had to prove it in your taxes. Yeah. So that made your healthcare companies do it. But what happened? Oh, all of our healthcare got I can't say that word, but it got bad. And all of a sudden now it's really hard to get to a doctor.
Yeah, because
it's really hard to see a doctor. I see a physician's assistant. I don't even get to see a doctor anymore.
What the government failed to take into consideration is you're dealing with highly profitable private business. And you're going to start regulating highly profitable private business, they're going to figure out a way to maintain themselves and still remain highly profitable private business. It's not going to be for the greater good like you think it's going to be because they are better at business than you. That's why you go out pander for votes every 2 to 4 years.
It's interesting that people would call you a troll for this. Did you ask the person why they're calling you a troll?
No, I don't care. I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to engage in that. I'd rather. Fine, I will move on.
This should be a new poll question. I mean, what's more corrupt, the healthcare or our political system?
Maybe it should be because I'm
kind of curious. I don't know. I don't know if there's even if.
But you couldn't. But I see what James is saying.
80% of people are saying it's politics.
You wouldn't have a corrupt healthcare system if you didn't have government interference.
That's very true.
So you can't. I mean, this is not chicken or an egg. This is definitely the healthcare becomes the chicken and the government's the egg on this one.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for calling in. What did you want to say?
Well, basically, isn't healthcare and government one now?
Well, we were kind of talking about that, but you wouldn't really have, a corrupt healthcare without politicians being involved in it with the political side.
And once the government got involved, that's when it started spiraling out of control. Where have we heard this story before?
Yeah.
I mean, this is what government does.
It's kind of what we were talking about.
They specialize in getting their hands into stuff and then really screwing it up for everybody.
Yeah, Brad writes in, he says, I say healthcare is more corrupt because politics... I say healthcare is only corrupt because of politics are involved with it. Thanks for the call. Hi, good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning. I'm calling about the whole healthcare thing. I'm a nurse, and completely corrupted healthcare.
You know what? Your phone is cutting out. We didn't hear what you said. You want to try it again? Okay, sorry, we're going to lose you.
I wanted to hear what she had to say. She's a nurse. She's an insider.
I know.
I had all kinds of questions for her.
I put her on hold to see. We'll see if it cleans up. Hold on there for a second. Maybe he'll get in a better spot. Hi, go ahead.
Hi, I actually got out of the healthcare field 10 years ago because of how corrupt it was getting.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work for an endocrinologist and trying to get kids their insulin because insurance companies wouldn't cover it because the parents didn't make enough money. That's how corrupt it is. You have kids that are suffering simply because they can't afford it. And it is corrupt. It's lining the pockets of all the politicians and the CEOs of the insurance companies. It takes pennies to make some of these pills, yet they're charging thousands of dollars
that's sad.
to keep these kids alive. It's sad. I got out of the business. I make booze for a living now.
Good for you.
See, that's honest profession. Putting shoes on people's feet.
And
that's an honest profession.
That was prohibited for so long.
And the only thing that's going to change it is for people to rise up and start challenging the system because it does work. We have a lot more power than we think we do, and we need to realize that.
You used to work for an endocrinologist. You know how many times I've heard that people say that there would probably be a cure for diabetes if it wasn't for the pharmaceutical companies?
That's exactly right. And it's all
they make
about
so much money.
marketing. The European market has so much more advancement, but yet they wait on the American market. That way they can release everything at the same time and make trillions of more dollars.
Well,
I used to test all these products, and it's sad. They're waiting around. Parents are finding their own ways of kind of hacking into the systems and figuring out the technology to help their kids. It's out there. It all stems back to politics and religion, and it's
and money.
If we could
and money and greed. I mean, it's interesting because you just watch TV. I mean, how many diabetes medications do you see advertised? I mean, you don't really hear about many others. It's always diabetic medication. All these different pills to do this or that, or I can't Truvia, or I can't remember all of them. But
that and
I mean, it's just like, wow, another, and talking about your A1C, and I'm like,
the weird dry eyes lady commercial. That's another one.
Yeah,
Restasis, where she like peers into your eyes. She's like, "Do you have dry eyes?" And it looks like she has not blinked in 2 years. It's like, how do you not have dry eyes?
Good morning. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.